Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fancy Sip Review. And today on the Fancy Sip Review, I'm going to be trying another drink made by Monster Energy. The drink that I'm going to be reviewing today is going to be the Monster Orange Dreamsicle, one of the new 2025 releases. And this will also be the third time that Monster has tried the Orange Dreamsicle flavor. They released originally the Monster Reserve Orange Dreamsicle, which I thought was a kind of saccharine tasting drink, as it had about half the sugar of a normal Monster. They also had the Rain Orange Dreamsicle with 300 milligrams of caffeine, and I thought they tasted a bit chemically and a little bit salty for some reason, and I was not the biggest fan of it. However, this time, I think third time will be the charm, and Monster will finally get the Orange Dreamsicle flavor right. And as a big fan of Orange Julius, I really am hoping for that. And looking at the can, it said that this is going to be wickedly creamy, and cream is what you would want in an Orange Dreamsicle flavored drink, but I also like that it's wickedly creamy, and it sounds like something coming straight from Boston. And with this drink, I actually have its other release, the blue flavor, Electric Blue. And I wanted to see what the difference of these two drinks are, is it seems that there's a different amount of sugar in this. The orange flavor is going to have 50 carbohydrates, 50 grams of carbohydrates, and 46 grams of sugar, with an included 46 at 93% of your daily amount. And the blue one is going to have 51 grams, with an included 51 grams of sugar. So that one's going to have 102%. This one will have 93%. So the orange flavor will have a bit less sugar in it, but I am hoping that it is sweet and tasty nonetheless. So let's see what is in this drink and how it compares to the Monster Reserve line. So in this drink, you're getting 16 ounces, you're getting 200 calories, 370 milligrams of sodium, 16%. 18% of your daily carbohydrates at 50 grams, 46 grams of sugar with an included 46 grams, and again, 93% of your daily sugar. Your vitamin B2 is 250%, your vitamin B3 is 250%, B6 is 240%, and B12, 490%. The ingredients in this drink are carbonated water, sugar, glucose, citric acid, taurine, sodium citrate, natural flavors, panic ginseng flavor, L-carnitine, L-tartrate, potassium sorbate, a preservative, caffeine, sodium benzoate, a preservative, sucralose, niacinamide, B3, salt, yellow 6, inositol, pyridoxine hydrochloride, which is B6, riboflavin, B2, maltodextrin, and cyanocobalamin, B12. So what seems to be different is you are getting sugar in this with some glucose. You are also going to still be getting inositol, and there is going to still be artificial sugar in this, but there will be sugar in this, so it should be tastier than the other Monster Reserve. So let's show the can off real quick. This is what the drink looks like for the Monster Orange Dreamsicle. The can is pretty cool looking. It seems to just be a bunch of weird designs. Monster's getting really big into this like new metal-y looking stuff they've been doing, especially with the bad apple. This is the Orange Dreamsicle. And over here we have the nutrition facts if you are interested in reading that, if my camera is picking it up. And over here we have an infograph, as all of these companies like using infographs, and honestly I like reading them, is it makes it easier than actually reading all the nutrition facts. You're getting taurine, L-carnitine, and B vitamins. It has real sugar in it, no high fructose corn syrup, and you're going to be unleashing the beast. So this is going to be representing also their alcohol line. So with all of that out of the way, that's everything about the drink, but let's see how it tastes, as that is the most important thing in a drink. Let's give this a pour. So first thing to make note of in this drink is it is a very orange drink, and it doesn't have much creamy look to it. I was expecting to be, or for this to be more of a light orange drink, maybe something with a milky look to it to represent an Orange Julius, but this looks more like an orange soda to me. This is what the drink looks like. And if I remember right, the color is going to be a yellow color, and this is a orange drink. So that's weird. Actually, let me look at this real quick. It says the color is yellow 6, and that's the only color in this drink, which is odd, as this is clearly an orange drink. Yeah, I guess that's what yellow 6 looks like. It looks orange. I wanted this to match this, which is why I wore this. I'm going to wear a blue sweater for the blue drink. But this is the drink. It is a colorful beverage, and I'm glad that Monster went with artificial color in this rather than doing what they do with the Rain, making it a colorless drink. On the nose of the drink, it still does have the issue of the Monster Reserve Orange Dreamsicle, and it does smell a little bit chemically. It doesn't smell like something that would be wickedly creamy. On the nose, you are getting an orange smell with a back end of creaminess. Now, there's not much effervescence coming from this, and there's not much legs to the drink. I intentionally pour it high so you don't really get to too much carbonation. But there is some of it. Again, there's the legs of the drink. There's some effervescent bubbles. So let's see how this is on the mouthfeel. The important thing of this drink is I'm hoping that this tastes a lot better than the Reserve line. I thought that drink was really bad, and I was incredibly disappointed. And then I drank the Rain, hoping that that would be better, and I was disappointed with that. There's no way that Monster messes this up 3 times and then makes a 4th attempt at this drink. I will say, 3rd time is the charm. This drink does kind of have a chemical taste to it. There's obviously no milk in this drink, so what the creaminess is coming from is going to be the artificial flavor. I do think the inclusion of sugar in this was really smart, and I have to assume that the sales of the Monster Reserve Orange Dreamsicle was not very good. As I went to the website to try finding what the difference between this and the Reserve was, and coincidentally, the website wasn't allowing me to look up their old drink. Maybe that's just coincidental. Maybe they're trying to replace the Reserve with this, but this does taste a lot better. The creaminess really shows a lot more than the other flavor, which just tasted like a chemical orange that didn't know what it was doing. Drinking this a bit faster, it does a pretty good job at emulating an Orange Dreamsicle or an Orange Julius, which is what I was hoping that this would be more of. And Orange Julius is kind of difficult to find in general. The only way that I know that you can find it is by going to a Dairy Queen or going to a dead mall in a flyover state or somewhere in Utah or something like that. But this really does taste good, and it is good that you are able to try something with this flavor, as Orange Julius's are incredibly expensive. It's like $9 for like a small cup. This drink was only $2.50, and yeah, it's a good drink. It's the kind of flavor, though, that you wouldn't really know that you want unless you've had what it's supposed to be. I don't think that this drink will really do well with younger people who never grew up with Orange Julius's. This is kind of for 90s people who actually had this back in the day. And as Orange Julius is kind of a company, is just evaporated and went out the way of the dodo or the dinosaur, it is cool that you are able to still get that flavor in a tasty beverage. There's a lot of companies that have tried to make an Orange Julius flavored drink, Monster being one of the worst. And as I've said before, they've failed twice, but I think this time they've actually hit the nail on the head. This is a very good drink. I'm probably going to finish this very quickly. To give a score for this drink, though, I do have to think that I will like this more than the blue one, just based on the fact that this is more of a nostalgic beverage to me than it is something that I would really want. You know, I'm a big fan of fruit punch tasting drinks. I like a lot of fruitiness. This just tastes like you went to a mall food court in the 90s and you picked this up and you're going to eat like a cinnamon pretzel or something. This drink has a lot of mall vibes from the 90s before Amazon made everything on the internet and all of these stores went out of business. But I'm getting a lot of nostalgia from this drink. It, again, just reminds me of going to a mall in the 90s. Going to GameStop, seeing what new releases are coming out, or going to a movie with my friends. This drink is really hitting the mark with the nostalgic taste, but also it's really hitting the mark with the creaminess of this. I'm glad that this drink is not as chemically as the other flavors that they've done with the Monster Orange Dreamsicle. In the creaminess and the sugar really does a good job. And the fact that it only has 46 grams of sugar with an included 46, and this is not even 100% of your daily amount of sugar. You can maybe have a little bit more sugar unless you're diabetic or something. This is a very good, tasty, sweet drink, and I hope that this flavor stays around for a while. What would I give this drink? I know I'm giving everything high ratings, and for a short time I stopped doing that. But I would give this a 10 out of 10. I would definitely buy this again. This is, again, strictly based on nostalgia and my love of Orange Julius, but my hatred of spending $10 for a small cup of Orange Julius. I think that they did a really good job making it so that you don't have to go to a Dairy Queen and buy an Orange Julius. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been the Fancy Sipper, and cheers. Clink. And I definitely recommend that you try the Monster Orange Dreamsicle. Thank you again, and goodbye. Clink, clink, clink.